Hello friends, welcome back again to engineering tutorial. So today we are going to discuss the third network theorem which is the superposition theorem. So let's just first understand the statement of the superposition theorem. It says that the response in any element of a linear bilateral DC network containing more than one independent voltage or current source is the algebraic sum of the responses produced by the independent sources when each of them is acting alone or even each of them is considered separately. So what it says that a circuit containing multiple voltage or current source, the value of current at any point in the network when all of them are considered together will be the same by adding up the currents at that point, that same point, when each of the network, the sources, voltage and current sources are taken separately. So when we consider only one of the independent source, the other independent sources, voltage sources or current sources, they are deactivated. The voltage sources are deactivated by short circuiting it and the current sources are deactivated by open circuiting it. The dependent sources are not touched. The principle is the same as that in the Thevenin and Norton theorem. Okay, let's just do an example to understand this theorem in a better way. Okay, this is a circuit here. It consists of a 24 volt voltage source which is connected to a 4 ohm resistance, 2 4 ohm resistance and 1 2 ohm resistance, and there is also another 6 ampere independent current source. Now take a note that this circuit does not contain any dependent source, so we do not have to worry about that. They are all independent. So what the superposition theorem states that the current I1 at this point or this element, which is the response of the circuit, when both 6 ampere and 24 volt are taken into consideration, the value of current is I1. When the circuit is evaluated by considering only the 24 volt source and not considering this 6 ampere by deactivating it. How we deactivate it? By open circuiting it. Let the response be I1 dash. Now when I consider this circuit by considering only the 6 ampere current source, by taking this into consideration and deactivating it or by short circuiting it, here I have short circuited this 6 ampere, the response is I1 double dash. So it states that I1 is equal to this response plus this response. That is the theorem. The response which is produced here, which is I1, will be the same as the sum of these two currents. That is the superposition theorem. Okay, let's just do it so that you see for yourself. Okay, first we have considered the 24 voltage source only. We have deactivated the 6 ampere current source by open circuiting it. So as it is open circuited, this value I3 dash is equal to 0 as no current flows through an open circuit path. So it becomes a closed loop So I1 dash equals to I2 dash is equal to 24 volt by sum of these two resistances, 24 by 8 ohm, 4 plus 4 ohm is 8 ohm. So it is 3 ampere. Okay, note down this value, I1 dash equals to I2 dash equals to 3 ampere. Now when we consider only the 6 ampere volt current source and short circuit the 24 voltage source, or we deactivate it. Now we have to apply current division rule. So first, in order to find out the current division, implement the current division rule, first we have to determine these I3 double dash current. So first determine the equivalent impedance across these points. It is 4 ohm parallel 4 ohm, these two are in parallel, which is ultimately in series with this. Okay, so just see here, we determined I3 double dash, which is 6 ampere, I3 double dash is equal to 6 ampere. Then I2 dash, we have to apply the current division rule. As I said, we apply the current division rule. Okay, so see here, I2 double dash is equal to 6 into 4 by 4 plus 4, I2 double dash. See here, I2 double dash, this is 6 ampere, we have to determine this. So no need to apply current division rule also, as these two resistances are same, the current will be divided equally. So both I2 dash and I1 double dash will be 3 ampere, 6 by 2, they will be divided equally. If there would have been some other resistance, then current division rule would have been applied, and but as these are two equal resistances, so no need to go into that, we just simply divide this 6 ampere current into two equal parts, and these two are the same. So I1 double dash equals to I2 double dash is equal to 3 ampere, and I3 double dash is equal to 6 ampere. Now we have to prove the superposition principle. Okay, now I said that the value of I1 would be the sum of these two responses, I1 dash and I1 double dash. So another thing to notice or to make sure is that the direction which you have taken in the diagram. See, this is the reference diagram. Here we have the values or the directions of the currents like this. Here also the values or the directions of the currents are the same as that we have taken in the reference diagram. When the direction of currents in the reference diagram and this other, and for a while when we take a single source, the value of current which we get, that direction and the reference direction, when they are same, the values of currents are added, means a positive sign is given. When the direction of the current is opposite to the reference diagram, see here, here the I1 double dash is opposite to I1, here I1 double dash will carry a negative sign as it is opposite to the original convention. The original, this is the reference diagram, here the I1 double dash is flowing in this direction, I1 double dash is flowing in this direction, but I1 is flowing in this direction. So I1 double dash will be negative. Okay, similarly I3, it is flowing in this direction, but I3 double dash is flowing in this direction. So I3 double dash will be negative, minus 6 ampere, but in all the cases the direction of I2 is the same, downwards. so it will undergo no change in sign, it will always remain positive. So let's just prove the superposition theorem. So there is a total value of I1 dash minus I1 double dash is equal to 3 minus 3 0 ampere, an interesting one, 0 ampere. I2 is equal to I2 dash plus I2 double dash, which is equal to 3 plus 3 6 ampere, okay, and I3 is equal to I3 dash minus I3 double dash, which is equal to minus 6 ampere. So what we get is that this value of I1 is equal to 0 ampere. No current flows through this resistance, okay. The value of I2 is 6 ampere. Obviously when no current will flow through this, it will be open circuited and the entire current will flow through this closed path, no current here, and I3 is minus 6 ampere, okay. So what it says that when I told you when the value of current comes negative, it means that the actual direction of the current is opposite to the assumed direction. Here we have assumed that I3 is flowing in this direction, but I3 is actually flowing in this direction, okay. This is I3. So no current flows through this, it is open circuited, so leave it here. 6 ampere, I3 equals to I2 equals to 6 ampere. So that's what's the it is used to solve various circuits. You can use this theorem to find out the circuit currents through any of the elements in a circuit, but it's a bit lengthy, so it will take some time. So I would advise you to go for Thevenin or Norton's theorem. In case those two theorems fail, you go for this approach because it's a bit lengthy. So this is the superposition theorem, which is used to determine the currents flowing through the various branches in the circuit. So this is the third theorem which I have discussed with you. I will also be sharing the other theorems. So I hope you liked this video, and please subscribe my channel Engineering Tutorial for more such videos related to electrical and electronics engineering. Have a great day. Thank you.